Police, Jackson Post Assistant Post Commander, Lieutenant J. Barkley. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Good morning, Lieutenant. Thank you for being here.
Appreciate it.
How's life treating you?
Things are good. Happy to be here.
Are people being safe out there?
Well, I hope so. I certainly hope so. And we would certainly encourage that.
We're coming on a big holiday weekend.
Right.
Any suggestions for our viewers?
Yes. So holiday weekends, I don't have the exact numbers for the projections for how many people we expect to be traveling on the roadway, but it seems to grow every year. And we would encourage you to drive safely, keep those cell phones in the cup holder, and pay attention when you're driving through those construction zones as well.
How long have you been with the Michigan State Police?
So I've been with the state police just under 14 years, coming up on 14 years here.
Awesome. What got you into the law enforcement profession, Jay?
Well, it wasn't something that I expected. I'm actually a business finance major, and I took a intro to law enforcement class as an elective, and I ended up having to interview a member of the Michigan State Police for a project, and that kind of sparked the interest, and no regrets so far.
Oh, what a cool avenue to law enforcement.
Yes.
What do you think the biggest issue is with drivers on the road today?
A big change that we've had recently is the Handsfree law. I think it was in about June of last year. The legislation for that Handsfree law was put into effect, and certainly leaving those cell phones or keeping those cell phones out of your hands and out from in front of your face is going to improve traffic safety out there.
You can see it when if you have someone in the next lane or behind or in front of you, and there's they're not going the right speed or they're swerving, they've got that phone in their hand, and
Sure.
100 times out of 100, if you get to see them, there it is.
Sure, and one thing people should know is that hands-free law not only states you can't operate the mobile device while you're driving, you also can't even have it in your hand. You can't be holding it either. So.
And you can get pulled over for if they see you doing it. It doesn't have to be another
Correct.
issue going on.
That's correct.
You've probably worked crash scenes that were the result of distracted driving because of the phones.
I'm sure I have. I'm sure I have. There's too many to remember, but yes.
So do you cut any slack for people that say, "Oh yeah, I was checking to see what time my hair appointment was"?
Right. I guess the answer would be no.
Zero tolerance.
Yeah, zero tolerance.
Zero tolerance.
Yeah, keep that phone out of your hand while you're driving.
I was hoping you were going to say that.
Yeah. So it's orange cone season, as well
Sure.
as holiday season, as well as extended daylight hours. We all seem to be out doing more longer.
Mm-hmm.
What suggestions do you have for highway safety?
So keep those folks that are working on the road projects in mind. They've got families as well, and they want to go home safe. So please follow the signage as you go through those construction zones.
Yeah, and along I-94, we've been in this multi-year construction project that's going to continue for the rest of this year. It's awesome, the part that's done, but there's still a lot more going on.
Sure.
I do feel like I've mastered the traffic diamond finally.
The diverging diamond?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got it.
Yeah.
It was confusing at first, but I think once they took those orange barrels away, it just became easier to see the flow. But do we see a lot of accidents in construction zones?
Certainly statewide. I'm not sure the exact numbers here in Jackson County, but it is certainly an issue statewide, and we have patrols specifically dedicated to those construction zones for that reason.
Gotcha.
Well, it's National Police Week, and I think all of us in the community like to take the time to think about you and all the other folks in law enforcement for all that you do to keep us safe, and the sacrifices that you and your fellow law enforcement professionals make. We greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, and we thank you for your service.
Thank you.
All right, I've noticed more. What are the big blue SUVs called? The
Tahoes?
yeah,
or-
but there's a name for them. Well, anyway, I've
Police
been
cars.
well, no, stop. I can't think of it right now, but I've been seeing more and more of them, especially on the 127, 94 corridor. So
Okay.
are you guys ramping up efforts in the area? Should we be looking for a stronger presence as we get into the holiday weekend, or?
Yes, as we get into the warmer months and the holiday weekends, and then again, especially with the construction zones, you can expect to see us in the medians, on the road, and visible in a general sense.
What's your favorite Michigan State Police vehicle to drive?
My favorite one to drive, I suppose the Charger.
Yeah.
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 Oh, I bet that's fun.
We had those throwback cars a couple years ago.
The black and gold 100
Yeah.
anniversary cars. Yep, those were some of those are still around. Those were a coveted vehicle for the troopers to be able to get in and patrol.
Yeah, how do you decide who gets what?
Right. Yep.
Seniority? You got to earn it?
Well, that's one of the things. Yes.
There's a story there for off camera.
Well, I think a lot of people that are in the Michigan State Police, they chose that. Maybe they were going to be in law enforcement anyway, but they specifically chose MSP because of the cool cars and the cool uniforms.
You do have the best uniforms.
Certainly, the uniforms and the cars are part of the tradition, and I think I like to think that the tradition of the Michigan State Police is what attracts some folks to come work for us.
Speaking of that, how deep are we? Are we in need of more state troopers? And if somebody's interested in a career, where should we send them?
Just like all law enforcement, nationwide, Michigan State Police included, is in need of recruits and good folks to quality people to become troopers and to fill our ranks. I would encourage anybody interested to contact the Jackson Post directly
Okay.
or visit our website.
All right, wonderful. So if you want to drive a cool car, wear a pretty neat uniform, and serve your fellow man, look into law enforcement with Michigan State Police.
Well, we're glad you did, and we thank you for coming in today.
Thank you. Appreciate being here.
Thank you so much. Be safe.
Thank you.
Assistant Post Commander with the Michigan State Police, Lieutenant Jay Barkley. More of the morning show. A trip to Avenue Auto after this.